Hello and welcome back to Sarah's Stitch. So today I'm going to go over my fall knitting plans and inspirations. I hope you're looking forward to it. I know there's a million of these out on YouTube right now, but figured I'd throw mine out there too in case anything is different than anyone else. So I hope you have a nice warm beverage or a cool beverage, whatever. I have my first official pumpkin cold brew of the year. I'm filming this on August 24th, so it's the first day that pumpkin is back at Starbucks, so I had to go get it. And it is a chillier gray day outside, so felt like a good day to film this, so we'll see. I will say in advance, to anyone new, I live in Hoboken, which is a tiny little square mile city right across the river from New York, so there may and probably will be street noise, traffic sounds, so I will try and cut them out as best I can, but they may still be in there a little bit. So let's get started. So I'm gonna go over kind of the patterns I'm looking at and then color palette, and then any I'm looking down because I have all of my yarn that I'm hoping to use this fall down here. But so let's start with patterns, and I know I'm going to be over ambitious about this, as I always am, but that's fine. So there's definitely a few pullovers, cardigans, vests, all of the things that like I always want to make, but for this fall specifically, I'm not gonna go with anything I've already talked about in my podcasts that I want to have for fall. So like my seamless sweater, my tessellated, things like that, because I've already technically started those. So they should in theory be done for the fall, in theory. So this is gonna be mostly new stuff that I'm talking about. So I will start first with like sweaters, pullovers, cardigans. The first sweater that I desperately need in my life, and I will be honest, I've already started, is the Lanark pullover sweater. Lanark sweater by Rebecca from the Crybea. It is her half fisherman's rib zip sweater. It looks incredible. She took the pattern offline for a little bit I think she wanted to like update the pattern instructions a little bit just to make it a little more clear and film a new video for instructions, I think. So I was patiently waiting for it to come back online to buy it, because I didn't buy it before like an idiot. And it just looks like the perfect like fall, chuck it on if it's a little chilly out but you don't need like a coat, or if it's really cold, like chuck that on and then a lighter jacket on top. So that is my first sweater I will be making for the fall, and full disclosure, I've already started it, so I will quickly show that to you. I think I talked about this in my last podcast, but I hadn't started it yet. This is Santa Scrun Sunday, and it's a petite knit specific color. I think it's called Milk Chocolate, but the color number is 3072, and I got this from Mother Knitter. The pattern is written for DK, but I really, really wanted to use this color because I didn't love the double Sunday brown that Petite Knit has as much as this. I think it's like a little bit darker and cooler. So this is how far I am. I'm still just on the collar. I started it last night because I couldn't wait any longer and wanted to wait until I filmed this. But so this is where I'm at. This is definitely going to be finished this fall. I'm hoping before Scotland, but that's for a podcast chat. But that is definitely high on my list. I think it'll be a great addition to my wardrobe for fall. And then the next few sweater, cardigans, etc. that I would like to make are another petite knit pattern, the balloon sweater by Petite Knit. It's a fingering and mohair or sari pattern with like kind of a turtleneck. I don't know if I would do the turtleneck and then balloon sleeves. And I have yarn for that as well. And that just looks like it'll be like a nice transitional sweater into, from like cooler days into cold days. Since I live in New Jersey, it's not super cold right now. It doesn't get really like cool until end of September, early October. So I think fingering plus mohair is a good transitional before we get to like the super bulkies of winter. Just might take a little bit longer to knit. And I love that pattern. I feel like it's not very talked about for a petite knit pattern specifically. I don't know why it's not, but I love it. So I will be making that. Well, that's on the list, I should say. It's on the list. Hopefully it will be made. Next sweater is the new Hohi pattern, and I'm blanking on the name, and I really should have written all this down, but the new Hohi pattern is gorgeous. It is, I think it would be a great introduction to color work, like an all over color work sweater for someone who's maybe a little bit more intimidated by color work, because it's very big motifs. So while you may have to catch floats and stuff, I think you could get away with not catching floats, and also it doesn't look like it's super intricate in the motif itself, so that it would be a good like step the toe into color work. And then also you get to explore like a really cool color palette. You can make a neutral one, you could make it like a dark and moody, you could go like brights, or like not even neon brights, just like very saturated colors. I think it would be so cool to do that in like a cream, like a bright red, and like a yellowy, and a like an olive green, like a mustard yellow olive green, and just have like one really bright pop of color. I think that would be gorgeous. Next for sweaters, I think this is the last of the sweaters, is the Alley sweater by S Knits, Sarah. And I've been talking about this sweater, I swear, for like a year, and I think I'm finally gonna get around to making it. I'm so excited. I've been craving more color work in my knitting, and I think this would be a great pattern for me to do, because it's just a color work yoke. And I have a perfect like autumnal yarn, which I will show later for it. I've talked about it before, but perfect like colors for it, and I think it would fly off the needles, just because the yoke I think is going to be so addictive with the color work, and then it'll just be a quick little stockinette body. So Sarah from the Kind of Future, I just realized I forgot to talk about one huge item that I would like to knit this fall, and I know it's a little bit newer, very original over here with the designer. It's petite knit again, but the Jenny v-neck, I don't know if she calls it a jacket or a cardigan, that she just, I don't know if she revamped it or it hadn't been written for a v-neck before, but now it's a v-neck. That sweater I have yarn that I had originally gotten for a Jenny sweater, which I don't know if I have enough of it. It's gorgeous. I can only think of that sweater as like either like a tea-stained cream. That's not a very attractive color sounding, but like slightly brown cream, or like a gorgeous olive. Can we all just Jenny sweater v-neck in like an olive cardigan? I need that, and if I can't knit that, I would actually pay someone to knit that for me, because I want that so badly. So, one last addition to the sweaters that I almost forgot. But that is it for my personal list of pullovers that I would like to make this fall and are really inspiring me right now. And next I will go into like my vests, accessories, all of that good stuff. So first is my vest that I need to make. I'm so excited, I love it. I'm going to be making a new Crawford vest. So the Crawford vest is a pattern I designed myself. I made it in this really gorgeous blue from Sanduskarn, and You can see I didn't finish it because I ran out of yarn, and also like just knew off the bat that this was not perfect as is, so I'm going to be fixing it to be perfect for me. It is a v-neck, let me just check it on. It is a v-neck pullover with, right now, not a ton of positive ease, which I would like a little bit more of, and a bit of a deeper V. But other than that, I love it. It's like, it feels like a hug. It's made out of Senescarn alpaca wool. So it's super soft and cozy, not scratchy at all. And I think when it gets blocked, it will definitely grow a little bit too, and the cables will relax. But I'm going to remake this in more alpaca wool that I ordered. Yeah, so this is the first of the vests I would like to do. Once I finish the Lanark, I'm gonna cast this on, because this was quick to make. Even with writing out everything, it took me like a little over a weekend to get all of this done, just because it's knit on a lot, not larger. I knit it on 4.5s, but there's not a lot to it. And when you don't have arms, it's very motivating to get things done quicker, because you do this and some ripping and you're done. So this is number one in like the vests, the smaller knits category, that I am very much looking forward to doing and finishing. The other accessories and things like that that I'm hoping to get through this fall, none of these are really, I don't think, patterns that I've really talked about in depth or like have made before. So I would love to make a Sophie shawl by Petite Knit. It just looks like such a good classic piece, and I would love to make it in like just a solid color to go with all of my coats, because I have a black coat, a camel coat, a like olivey green sagey coat that I would love to make like a brown, probably brown, let's be real, Sophie shawl, or like a coordinating like scarf and mitts combo, just for when the weather starts getting a little bit chillier, that I could just quickly chuck on and have. And I have not decided on a mitts pattern. I'm thinking like something along the lines of like the what are they called, penny gloves or something like that. Just like a super simple fingering weight or fingering held double DK situation for mitts, but like a coordinating head, neck, hands situation I think would be adorable, and a relatively quick knit compared to like a big sweater or something like that. Of course, as always, I would like to knit my socks. I have so many sock yarns, and I need to get back into like sock knitting a lot. I have been falling off a little bit because I've been motivated by my trips and things to get bigger projects done, but I want to get back into like just always having a vanilla sock on the needles, because they just, when you just have a vanilla sock, it like flies by, because you don't realize you're doing 10 rows in like 5 minutes. Not that quick, but like a row a minute, done. You're like done in 2 hours. It's fine. It's not 2 hours, but like they go by a lot quicker. So I want more socks, because I have so much sock yarn that's gorgeous. So I definitely will be trying to knit up more socks this fall. And then the other thing is hats. I have no knit beanies in my possession anymore. I've knit 2. I don't have them anymore. They were gifts. I need beanies in my life. I don't know what colors I'm gonna do. I kind of want to do like either the weekend hat or what the heck is it called? Like just a plain ribbed hat as my first, or like do a Harlow hat, which is brioche, because brioche has my heart forever and always. I love brioche. But yeah, so some sort of ribbed beanie, just because I need more beanies. I'm a knitter and I have no beanies. So that is the other accessory that needs to get started, made, whatever, this fall. So now going into color palettes, very original here. I spoke about this a few months ago, but I did an online color season analysis thing, and I'll put like the results up here. But when I did it, I had said, I think I did it in like the spring, I had said I kind of want to try and do most of my projects for the rest of the year in that color palette, just to kind of see if I actually like those colors, because there's a lot of pinks and peaches in there, and I'm not a pinks and peaches girl, and I haven't gotten that crazy with it yet, but I have been trying to make a lot of my bigger garments out of colors that are very close to or in that color palette. So when I did it, it came out as I'm an autumn, and I think I'm a specific like soft autumn maybe. It's like a specific subset of autumn. It's not all of the autumn colors, but it's like the subset, which are like the best possible ones for me. So I'm not looking at it right now, but if I'm remembering correctly, I didn't have like a ton of like the golden yellows and the mustards and like the burnt oranges, which is fine, but I still love them. So I probably will knit a few things because that's still autumn palette. It's just not like my perfect palette. So I'm thinking definitely a lot of like warmy cream beiges, but not too close to my skin color because we can't do that at all. And then browns, all of the browns. I'm fully in my brown era, 100%, without a doubt. Like the number of brown yarns I have that I did not realize I had until about 3 days ago it's actually ridiculous, because no person needs this much brown yarn, and I have far too much of it. Let me just make sure I'm still recording after last podcast. Okay, we're good. So all of the browns. So like I've been very drawn to more of a dark, rich brown, like this brown that I'm using for my Lanark. So like that color, or even like a step up, like not up, like a step lighter, like a true brown, like just nothing to it brown, not nothing to it, but like not like super like light, almost tan, but also not so dark you think it's black. And definitely warm toned, which just in general with me is more of a better fit. So like coffee and like this and a sweater would be fab. I think this is as light as I would go, and like I don't know why I'm talking about my pumpkin cold brew like this, but like it's like a little bit orangey brown, which I feel like suits me a little. Like I feel like that suits me more than like a cool toned like bluey brown, or even like I feel like some blacky browns kind of lean more cool tone, just because the nature of the color of black, it's just cool toned in general, unless you like get all of the undertones and whatever, all of the things. Not a dyer over here, don't know how it works. But so browns for sure, creams, beiges. I'm a yellow girly through and through, forever and always will be a yellow girly. So there's some yellow in there, definitely some green. I would love to make some like olive things, like a true, not like a food olive, but like an olive color olive, like a, I don't know how to describe this other than olive, like a, I don't know, I'll put a picture on the screen, but like this collage is what I'm feeling for greens. And then weirdly enough, I have not been as into blue as I have been in the past. Not in the past, but like I feel like spring and summer I was very into blue, and like you may even be able to see like behind me a lot of blue going on in there. And I'm not like as motivated, I should say. I don't know if I should say motivated, but inspired to work on blue things. And that may be because all of my blue yarns I have right now are kind of brighter, more spring blues that I not mad about. Like, I still love them, but I kind of want like more of a dark and moody situation for the spring or fall. And then of course pops of color, which I'm not a pops of color girly at all, just in my day-to-day life. So like my socks, and I feel like the accessories are where I do pops of color with yarn, because who doesn't love working with like a fun yarn? But all of the fun colors will probably be reserved for the accessories. So let me gather up the skeins down below, and I will go through the yarns that I kind of pulled from my stash right before this and what I'm thinking I'm going to do with them. All this sweater. Okay, so here are all of the yarns I pulled for like the inspo that I have at the moment. So I will get started. I don't know why I picked these all up at once. So like I said already, the milk chocolate sundae for the Lanark, I think is such a good, like, also, I know my hair's wet, sorry for that, but like I feel like on me it would look great, and this color I think would look really nice with either blue jeans or black jeans, which I tend to wear blue jeans more than black jeans, but I think that'll look so good just as a fall color in general. And then moving on, more brown. I have 2 skeins of this. This is from Woolberry Fiber Company, and this was I think it was the January collective solid color this year. It's called But First Coffee, and I have 2 skeins of it in Berry Merino, and it's honestly like, there's hardly any difference to these two. But I got 2 skeins of this, and I think originally I had planned on making like a glove and hat set or something like that. So, not a glove, like a mitts or mitten and hat set. So that is what I'm thinking for these 2, just as like a little accessory situation. And then the leftovers I can turn into socks or something. But I don't know if I said, but Berry Merino, which is 100% superwash merino, 400 yards for 100 grams. And I just love this yarn, and I'm so sad I haven't done anything with it yet, but it will be happening. Next, in the yarns that I pulled, I will talk about this, which I've already discussed in my last podcast. This is alpaca wool from Sandnes Garn. The color is green myrtle, which is color number 8062. And this is what I'm planning to make my second Crawford vest out of. And I know this color isn't super like fall-y, but this is just like the green that was speaking to me at the moment. And I feel as though this would be a good color for like both fall and spring. So I'm not mad about it, but I kind of wish it was like a shade muddier. Still fab, and I can't wait to wear this with like a long sleeve white t-shirt underneath and jeans. I think will look adorable. And then next, keeping the brown theme, I guess. I know I've talked about this before too. This is the yarn that I have for my alley sweater. This is from Explore Knits and Fiber, and it's from the Ireland collection. So the neutral I have is woolly, and it's this really pretty like taupey beigey brown. It's like very, I would say it's like right on the border of cream and brown. Like it's not quite brown, not quite cream. So this is going to be the main color, and then I have a skein of My Goodness, which is the variegated color that was inspired by Guinness. And this is going to be the colorway color. So I think that'll look so pretty together. Just like perfect amount of variegation between this and this to like show the color work. But like also, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but you can definitely tell like woolly is included like as the base layer of my Goodness. So I think this will look great together. I'm very excited to cast this on. This needs to go up on the priority list because I love color work. I don't need enough color work. I need to do more. And then lastly, another Ireland collection from Explorer Knits. I have Celtic Harp. So I have this in both Cashmere Cavern Sock, which is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon, and Surrey lace, 74% Surrey and 26% silk. The Surrey is 328 yards for 50 grams, and the sock is 435 yards for 100 grams. So these will be getting held together for a balloon sweater. And I think this is gonna look stunning together for a balloon sweater. Like, oh, I also need this in my life immediately. So, and it's so soft. So that is my plans, hopes, dreams, aspirations for this fall. I'm hoping to get through, I know I'm not gonna get through this whole list, but like in a perfect world, I would be like, this is gonna be my knitting from like now until December, and then I can start like Christmas gift knits, Advent knits, all of that good stuff. And I definitely have more than enough to hold me over until then. So let me know what you all think of my list, if there's any patterns you think I should check out, or anything you're planning on knitting for the fall. I'm so excited. I love the summer, my favorite season. But fall is definitely my favorite wardrobe time of year. I love a sweater. I love a nice like crisp morning, the leaves changing, everything like that. And just like, obviously, like I already said, I'm an autumn color palette, but like just fall colors are the best colors for me without a doubt. Like I knew that before I did the color analysis, but like those are just, they're my colors. So very much looking forward to that, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and like it if you liked it and you would like to see more of me. I will have a podcast out hopefully in the next week or so, and I can update you on all my progress and all my projects. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you're planning on working on, what you were drinking while watching this. Have you gotten into the pumpkin world yet, or are you still holding out until Labor Day, or even September? Because I couldn't even make it till September. But until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.